What influences or determines one's inner experience at the time of their death and the existence they will experience in the spirit realm?
Well, that's pretty much beyond our scope here. It's a really nice question. What influences, are going to impact anyone who's dying? Well, of course, your physical condition and your mental condition, your psychic condition, are all going to factor into this, right? Your environmental condition, right? Okay. Your memories, see? All of these things, your human nature, sort of like all comes together and impacts your, let's say, moment of having to let everything go, see? And that could be a great shock for some who are not ready to conceive of it, let alone experience it. See? So we need to conceive of the death experience way before that. See? Prepare to let go of things, say, gracefully, by practicing dying in the moment and letting go here and now. See? So that we see when the time comes, we have very little resistance to the act, see? Having prepared year after year, day after day, moment after moment, for such an event. See? As momentous as that, the great event then is the passing, see, into another universe. So everything influences you. Okay? And you have to transcend all influences. Whatever it is, you have to transcend it. You have to go beyond it. Because death then is just another step on the path, and more wood for the fire.
Is the death experience different for a spiritual master compared with ordinary beings?
Well, for practitioners who are more open, yes. You had another part to that question?
Just if so, how does it differ?
Well, obviously, spiritual masters are practicing, or should be practicing, their experience of being outside of the body, or more than the body, than other people who are trying to be more in the body, and doing more from that for their own purposes. And thus they may be creating, unconsciously, much more struggle with the body that they assume they are and can only be that when the time comes to give it up. See? Because it's not your body. And you have this rude awakening when the time comes that, hey, you borrowed something and you have to give it back. Whether you like it or not, it was never yours to begin with. It was your mother's body. And so now it goes back to the mother.
Does an enlightened being know, or are they capable of knowing when they're going to physically die?
They can know. Yeah, they can know. Because there are signs. You can know months before. And that's beyond a disease condition. You can know months before. You can know years before. You can dream about it when you're young and not know you dreamt about it. And it starts to come back to you. You can have evidence of what it is because at certain levels there is no time, so the future is known. The future and the past are one thing. In the now, revealed perfectly. And beyond that can be revealed, depending on the individual's need to know. Sometimes you have no need to know and it's imposed upon you because you need to know beyond your need to know. Forces greater than yourself determine and dictate when you need to know what you don't want to know, and you have to know.
Are life-threatening situations or near-death experiences considered to be a test or a trial for most of individuals that experience such things?
Yes, they can be a test, a trial, and also a liberation. See? So we can see it one of two ways, as a merit or a debit. See? It can slow you down, break you down, or wake you up. See? And hopefully with every breakdown there is a waking up. See? And a moving beyond. See? And being grateful for whatever comes your way. That is what you do. See? That you created, or that was handed down to you, to be experienced as part of the blood karma as such. And some families die a certain way, because of what they do, what they believe, and what they live. See? And it's good to have a spiritual sense of what that is. That means a conflictless openness, see? And an acceptance of death as part of life, see? And gain the power that comes with that. Say, oh yes, I'm here to die. I'm happy I'm going to die, and this is going to end. See? So that you're in tune with the forces of, let's say, time, and thus more properly attuned to and ready for the forces of space when you have to give up this vehicle. See, to move on to the next one. See, move on to the next dimension of space, the next experience, and say the next world and the next set of lessons for you, and duties for you to maintain, rather than this materialist think, you're going to die and your body's just, you're going to be your body rotting in the dirt. Okay? You're going to become maybe full of worms and lice and maggots, and then they're going to eat you and you're going to be their food, and then you're going to be excreted by them, and you keep going down further and deeper into microbial hell. It sounds good, but I don't think so. I certainly hope not. I'd hate to admit I was misinformed all these years. Misdirected. We're going down into microbial hell instead of transcendent liberation into space and light, which seems a bit more appealing to my sensitivity, my imagination. Yeah. So, any other questions along those lines? Yes, we're saying that everything is wood for the fire. See? Every hardship is a good event, see? And it brings you one step closer to your awakening, your realization, and your end point. See? Your end point, the end of this round. And your relief, finally. Ultimate relief for some, to give this up. Others don't want to go. They don't want to ever see anything else but this, but there's no choice in this matter. This is not real, and we'll find out soon enough. This is already gone. That's why I say, always here, already gone.
Can the mass thoughts or doings of beings, either here on Earth or elsewhere, have an influence and potentially cause negative karma on a major scale?
It's always happening. It's already happened, and thus we see it happening and dramatized on Earth. Right? Thoughts are manifesting in terms of actions all the time, from the beginning and throughout the end. The thoughts and their forces will continue to manifest until the whole thing is burnt up. And they are burned away, see, and reduced to some essential, see, essence, see, which then is allowed to begin again in the continual flux of the universe. See. Everything recycling, ad infinitum, from one form to another form to something else. See. Participating in the whole thing at one time or other. It's like the breath leaving your body and excrement going down into the tubes and disappearing and dissolving and merging with everything else and being brought up and made into something else, and it's what life is. A continual creation, continuous creation, simultaneous creation.
So you're saying that everything that happens has already happened?
Exactly. Yeah, you were waiting to hear that. That's the good news. It's already happened, so this is easy. See, we know what to expect then. Yeah.
Is great sorrow a necessary motivator for seeking enlightenment?
It can be, like great happiness. See? See? It's not any one thing. See? It's a mystery. There's no answer for this. We have to wonder, what is enlightenment? Is there such a thing? Some will say, you know when you get there, you know when you are enlightened. Is there any death? Well, you know when you get there, you know when there's death. Is there any life? Well, you know when you get there. If you haven't gotten there yet, you'll know when you get there. You'll know when you know. You'll know when you need to know. And then when you know, what happens then? See? Once you know. See? What good is it going to be once you know, since what you'll know is that you have no control over it. It's already done. You're here, and it's perfect, it's complete, and you had nothing to do with it, in a manner of speaking. So you created it, and you're given the sense of, well, it's your due, it's your debt, it's your life, it's your karma. Yeah, you have nothing to do with it. The idea is to give it all up and not care about it in that sense. So others say, no, it's up to a higher reality that we are moving towards and have to yield to. There's nothing we can do about it. We are on this conveyor belt, inevitably moving in the direction of being consumed by itself, melted into itself. See, once again returning to heart essence, which we've never left, but we have assumed a form that would seem to be other than what that is, but it isn't. This is the heart essence. See, you are the heart essence. See, it is the heart essence. This moment is the heart essence. This videotaping is the heart essence. And anyone watching it is part of this heart essence and the quietness and peacefulness that is part of the process of attending to this and listening to this and feeling this and knowing this is what it is.
From chapter 120 you write, spiritual truth is realized beyond, not by, the self-mind. How does one hear and see beyond the self-mind?
Well, you don't. See, the beyond is not something you do. The beyond is something that is. You have to bring yourself to the beyond to know what the beyond is, and you see you don't have anything to do with it. See, because it has never been anything other than what it is. See, the beyond is. Beyondness. See, and the more you get out of the din and fall into the silence of true radiant being, you start seeing that. The beyond is beyond. See, and we are, in terms of our karma, gone. See, gone, beyond. Gone beyond, beyond. See. So hail the goer, who dares to go, to here now.